Hello and welcome to Cutting Words. I'm Brad Thompson and today we have the latest Unearthed Arcana, the latest playtest material for One D&D, the next edition of Dungeons & Dragons, is the expert classes, which cover Ranger, Bard and Rogues, as well as a bunch of new feats and various new rules and other little changes like that. It is a 37-page document. I'm going to endeavour to cover the changes and give an overview of what's happening here in this playtest in a timely manner. So we'll see if we can make sure this video is not ridiculously long as we go through this document. Alright, let's get this up. Alright, here we go. Expert classes. So, second playtest document for One D&D. Covering expert classes, which is the group Bard, Ranger, and Rogue, but also the Artificer does count as expert class as well. They've got various groups, which where classes are grouped together in here. All right, so let's go through this initial notes that this displays material. Power level may vary. Make sure to do the feedback survey. If you're interested in how to find this playtest material, it is on dndbeyond.com. I cover how to find it in a previous video linked above. Alright. As a class, mentioned the primary abilities, that's nothing new there. Your wisdom caster, your primary ability stats, wisdom, etc. Class groups, this is how they group them up for future reference. So the experts are the Bard, Ranger, and Rogue, which basically are classes that get expertise, kind of skill monkey classes. The next group is mages, which is Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard, which get all the awesome fancy magic. Then it's the priests, which is the Cleric, Druids, and Paladin, surprisingly. Stewards of the divine magic, focused on healing, utility, and defense. And then warriors, Barbarian, Fighter, and Monk, which masters combat, who deal and endure many wounds. I find it quite funny because, personally, in my opinion, I think Paladin is probably the best warrior, and it's not even the warrior class. But sure, we'll see how Paladin looks in this new edition. They may have tweaked it somewhat. But yeah, that's interesting. Like I said, they divvy up somehow. Be 3 per group. Very interesting. Because yeah, I definitely would not normally classify Paladin as a replacement for a Cleric or a Druid, and vice versa. But anyway, we're focusing on the experts today: Bard, Ranger, and Rogue. All right. So basically, recommending a balanced group is one of each grouping to form a party. So 1 expert, 1 priest, 1 mage, and 1 warrior. All right. Each have 1 subclass available today as well as part of this playtest. Okay. Alright. First up, the Bard. Class group expert. Primary ability stat, charisma. No surprises there. Alright. Here's a table here. The spell progression's the same. Nothing's changed there. Same with the bardic die progression, that's all the same. The different abilities and order to get things and whatnot is very different, which we'll go through in more detail below. Alright. Still getting 1d8 hit die. Nothing changed there. Still getting dexterity and charisma saving throws. You get deception, performance, and persuasion skills, or 3 skills of your choice. And 3 musical instruments, it's the same. Alright. Only simple weapons though. I believe they normally also got the rapier. That's not there by default. Armor training. They get light armor. There's a wording change they've done there, so rather than being armor proficiency, it's armor training, because armor does not utilize your proficiency bonus. So language change there. Starting gear, or might have money. Nothing too exciting there. Alright. Multi-classing, that's basically the same for the Bard, nothing really changed there. And moving on. Bard class features. Okay. So, some interesting changes are afoot coming up here for the Bard. But first, let's see. So, you got the Bardic Inspiration. So, you get Bardic Inspiration dice. So, when a creature boosts a d20 twist, so when someone rolls a d20, that's not you, and they you can use your reaction to use your Bardic Inspiration die. So it's now rather than being a bonus action to deploy the Inspiration in advance in the last 10 minutes, instead it's your reaction and it instantly helps then and there. So it's a different way of doing it. As well as you can reaction use it to heal someone who's just been damaged, using your Inspiration die in a reaction to heal them back up. Which could be interesting how that works out if they drop to 0, if they'll pick them up, and the timing on that. I suppose it would. So yes, it's very different using your reactions now, the Bardic Inspiration. So I don't see Bards picking up many other reaction spells like Counterspell and things anymore, because their reactions pretty overused now. Bardic Inspiration utilizes their reaction all the time. Anyway, so they get number of uses equal to proficiency bonus, and regain all speed uses on a long rest. So it's not tied to your charisma level that's got based off proficiency. And the die levels up from a d6 to a d8 5th level, d10 at 10th level, etc. So yeah, so that's inspirations. Yeah, taking a big change there. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we'll see. Alright, so you get instant results with the inspiration, like, oh, I feel like you did something instantly, but it does usually eat up your reaction quite a lot. Okay. Spellcasting. So the big change here with the spellcasting is they can now prepare their spells on a long rest. So each long rest, Bard can change out their entire spell list of what they prepared that day, which is a big change. Normally you set it as you level up, and that's it. And so got some more spell flexibility there, but also they get access to the arcane spell list. So they've generated spell lists a bit here. So basically they have access to the same spell list as wizards and sorcerers and warlocks. The same list of spells. Except they can't take any divination, enchantment, they only can take divination, enchantment, illusion, or transmutation spells. So they can't take evocation, conjuration, or necromancy. I'm missing one. And the other one. It's embarrassing. Don't list in front of me right now. But I can take those ones. So, like, noteworthy spells that Bards used to take, they can't take anymore. Which is interesting. So, like, no conjuration to no dimension door. Things like that. So, there's a few spells that Misty Step, yeah. A few spells like that they can't get anymore. But they do gain some different spells because they have access to the wizard list. So, it's an interesting change there. The spell lists are at the bottom, near the bottom of the document. So, we'll look at that later. But, yeah. That's, yeah. Interesting. I don't a change to the spell list there. I don't know. This generation of the spell lists. We'll talk about spell lists when we get to the lists. So otherwise, spellcasting is pretty much the same. Nothing new there. At level 2, their expertise, so that they get that a level sooner. If memory serves. I think they've got at level 3, then 6 normally. So you get level 2, you get 2 expertises. As well as level 2, they get Songs of Restoration. So Song of Rest is gone. How dare they take Song of Rest, the greatest Bard feature. That bonus healing die during a short rest. Instead, this is how Bard gets access to healing spells, because their arcane spell list does not get Healing Word and whatnot, all those kind of wizardy spells. This is how their Bard still can heal. So they allows them to get Healing Word, Lesser Restoration, Mass Healing Word, Freedom of Movement, and Greater Restoration. So those are just extra known spells they get. And doesn't count against prepared spells, so yeah, let's get them extra for free. More spell options for them. So that's nice, because it'd be weird if the Bard lost all its healing capability. But yeah, it's interesting handling it. Anyway, moving on. It's level 2 ability. Then you get the subclass they can pick. Which they've got the Law Bard as the example subclass for this one, so we'll get to Law Bard soon. Level 4, you get the feat, and they've got a whole bunch of feats in this document of what a level 4 feat looks like. So we'll get to those later as well. So you get feat or ability score improvement feat. which is basically ability score improvement, just called a feat now. Level 5 is when you get Jackable Trades, so it's been moved up from level 2 to level 5. So you get half proficiency bonus to all your skills. I don't know, moving up the thing later. I don't know, why would they do that? Yeah, so I'm not sure. I don't like moving some of these abilities quite late in the class progression. And that's the only thing to get level 5. Oh well, as level 3 spells. So you'll notice that Bardic Inspiration is still long rest refresh at level 5. They have to wait all the way till, so level 6 is a subclass feature again. But then level 7 is where they finally can get their Bardic Inspiration back on a short rest. So that's 2 extra levels of the wait, short rest, Bardic Inspiration. Whew. And the based on proficiency bonus, you don't have many of them. So yeah, they're definitely you're gonna burn through them quite quickly throughout the day until eventually level 7 finally to unlock. I feel it's very late in progression there. Because I feel like by level 5 as a class, I kind of feel like I should be fully online. I feel like Bard doesn't feel fully online until level 7 at this rate. Anyway. So the addition, as well as getting short rest Bardic Inspiration finally at level 7, you also get, when Bardic Inspiration rolls a 1, you get to keep the die. It still does its effect, but since the effect was so lackluster, you get to keep the die you choose. Alright, level 8 you get Feats, and nothing different there. Level 9 you get your second expertise, that's later as well. These later skill bonuses, I don't know, I feel like skill checks are more regularly and are more valuable at early levels, and at later levels when a lot of high level spells are online where you can just get around with this Dimension Door Bastards challenge or what have you. Makes expertises, yeah, they're still good, but they're less impactful, I found, in my experience. So yeah, it seems quite late. Anyway, it's level 9. And level 10, you gain a subclass feature. I believe Bards, so they're generalized in the subclasses, so they all happen at the same time, the same amount. So the Bards, I believe, gained an extra subclass feature because they've got 4 now. But yes. Anyway, and at level 11, you get the magical secrets, so that's been delayed a level. But it's interesting how they've handled it now. Because, so basically, when you get magical secrets, you get to choose a spell list, be it arcane, divine, or primal. And when you prepare spells for this class, up to 2 of the spells you prepare can be from the chosen list and from any school of magic, so no restriction. The prepared spells otherwise follow the rules of the Bard spellcasting feature. So it means when you get the feature, you choose one of the lists, and every time you finish long rest, you can choose any 2 spells from that list to be part of your prepared spells for that day. So the magical secrets come online later, but it's more flexible. So I'm probably more powerful later on, but you are stuck with, you have to pick that list and you're stuck just that list. You can't have one from 2 different lists or whatever. You only get the one list. So yes, that's pretty cool for late level, but I feel like it does suffer some of the early level stuff, but making him stronger for late game. I don't know. So that's the new way magical secrets. That's all at level 11. Then at 12 you get Feat. Then 14 subclass feature. 15 another magical secret, so you get to do that again. So you get to choose another spell list, the one you haven't chosen before. So chose arcane before, be divine or primal. And you know, as you unlock more spell levels, you can obviously prepare high level spells from various lists or what you need for that day. So very nice spell versatility there. Yeah, very late, level 15. Level 16, get another feat, and then level 18, your capstone feature is still superior Bardic Inspiration. So when you roll initiative, you regain 2 expended uses of Bardic Inspiration. That's very lackluster. You'd think that they would get the capstone cooler after all this, but no, they still kept it as very boring. Anyway. Then level 19, you get a feat, and level 20, which is for all classes level 19 and 20 are the same. They get feat, and level 20 you get epic boon, which is basically level 20 feats. And they have rules for if you want to go beyond level 20 after so much XP. I think it's like 30,000 XP or something. you get another epic boon, and you can basically keep going up beyond level 20 if you want. Alright, and these are just a recommended spell list. If you don't want to dig through spell list, you can just use the pre-generated spell list here, or recommended spells, which is, bard spells. That's the recommendation there. And now for the subclass. So College of Law, poor College of Law. What happened to you? What did they have done to you? You were so good. And now, okay. So they still get 3 skills. The 3 skills have to be Arcana, History, or Nature. But if you already have one of these proficiencies, you get to replace one. But yeah, so you had to go for the knowledge ones there. I think before it was just pick any 3 you like. Cutting words is still here, still the same. You can use a reaction to penalize attack roll, ability check, to cause failure. Cutting words, great ability, great name for a YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. But yes, the channel is named after this ability because it's such a good ability. Though it is very limited with the bard not getting much bardic inspiration at this level, and so many uses for it with its reaction. The bard's reaction and bardic inspiration is quite limited. It feels like almost like as limited as a monk's key points until level 7. It's yeah, very restrictive. But well, then level 6, which normally you'd get 2 stolen spells, secret spells, which was amazing, which the main reason you go to Lawbard was for the level 6 feature. That's gone. They got rid of that. Instead, you get, through studies in your cunning, you've learned to inspire others exceptionally well. When any creature rolls your bardic inspiration die, that creature can roll the die twice and use the higher of the 2 rolls. That is disappointing. What a nerf that is. Wop wop. And so yeah, there's definitely a theme here of like the subclass definitely just does everything with the bardic inspiration die, and that is all it does. So at level 10, you improve cutting words. So when you use the cutting words feature on a creature, you can deal psychic damage to that creature equal to the number rolled on the bardic inspiration die plus your charisma modifier. Woohoo! And then 14th level, get the peerless skill ability. So we make ability check and fail. You can expend one of your bardic inspiration die, roll the bardic inspiration die, and add number rolled to ability check, potentially turning it into a success. If check still fails, bardic inspiration die isn't expended. Woohoo! So yeah, so College of Law got taken around the back alley and just got the crap beaten out of it. Poor College of Law, because yeah, the level 6 feature was huge, and now it's less so. And with its dependency on the very tight resource of bardic inspiration. Oh dear. I think overall, I don't know, it seems like the bard, they've weakened it dramatically early level, which seems strange because I felt the bard wasn't that particularly strong early level anyway, and made it stronger late game with those secrets you can swap around at high level. Which seems strange because most of the game happens at early to mid. So the bard doesn't come online until like level 7 really. But then of course you got the stolen spells, so it's level 11. It seems very late. I don't like the ordering how they've done things here. Some things I'd like a weaker version of magical secrets earlier, like just one spell I can swap in a day or something from an early level. That would be a lot better. Yeah, poor bards. Anyway, so that's the bard. Won't do that too much. But they definitely, I think overall lose out here. Ranger. Class group expert. Primary ability, dexterity and wisdom. Nothing new there. So we got armor training. Oh yeah, it's fine. So we got nothing new there. 1d10, still the same. Proficiency, strength, dexterity, still the same. You get 3 skills: athletics, stealth, or survival, or choose 3 from animal handling, athletics, insight, investigation, nature, perception, stealth, and survival. Don't think there's anything new there. All right. This is the Ranger list. So the big change here is they start with some cantrips and spells. They start with spell casting straight out of the gate. And let's start with expertise and favorite enemy. And we'll cover the rest as we go through. Alright, start with simple weapons and martial weapons. Light armor, medium armor, and shields. Study equipment. Regular stuff there, all cash. Nothing too exciting. Multiclassing is the same. So I'm not going to cover that. Alright. What have we got? So level 1, you gain 2 expertises and skill proficiencies of your choice. That's cool. You're like a rogue. Favorite enemy. You are adept at focusing your eye on a single foe. You will always have the Hunter's Mark spell prepared, and it doesn't count against the number of spells you can prepare. Moreover, you don't have to concentrate on the spell once you cast it. It lasts for its full duration until you end it as a bonus action or until you are incapacitated. At this point, why isn't Hunter's Mark not a spell and just a class feature? What are you doing? Why bother keeping it as a spell at this rate? It is a ranger class feature. Okay. For sure. Favorite enemy? So that's a boost. Way better than what they did in Tasha's with the once per turn D4s and things. Okay. Hunter's Mark and no concentration. Definitely a huge boost for the ranger there. Okay. So you got the spellcasting. So you start with a couple of cantrips. Like guidance. Woohoo. A couple of spell slots. Like an artificer, they're half caster that starts with cantrips. Woo! A couple of spell slots. Yeah, wisdom, and they can repeat. Oh, I should mention ranger spells they can prepare. Long rest as well. Haha. So they can prepare each day, as opposed to being limited before to just you pick your spells at level up. It was such a short, limited list. They actually can prepare a bunch of spells. Long rests. Amazing. So it's nice for ranger spell to do that. Like a paladin now. What? I don't understand why rangers didn't have that to begin with. Anyway. So the fighting style. So fighting style are now feats. They're called fighting style feats. And so at second level you can choose either archery, defense, or 2-weapon fighting. When you gain a feat at later levels, you can choose a fighting style feat among the options. Even if you're not a warrior group, a lot of feats have various restrictions now, depending if you're on certain groups or have ability stats and things like that. A lot of restrictions actually, but we'll get to the feats soon enough in this document. But yeah, none of the fighting styles, they all look very familiar. They're pretty much all the same. It's called feats now. Alright, got the subclass at level 3. So we've got the hunter subclass as the example one they've given here. Okay, and we got the feat at 4th level. They're very, yeah, everything's very consistent now between all the classes. So 4 subclasses and feats, pretty much. Oh, a few exceptions. Anyway, got the multi-attack at 5th level. Another subclass feature for ranger at 6. Got roving at 7, so you get a slight speed boost. Climb speed and swim speed, sure. Feat at 8. Knight expertise, again very late, but it's second expertise, 9th level. So you get the 2 expertise at 1st level and another 2 at 9th. So age away. Alright. At 10th, another subclass feature. 11th, you get tireless, which is when you finish a short long rest, you gain some temporary hit points. Or you can decrease exhaustion level, so it's very similar to Tasha's ability there. 12th, you get feat. 13th, Nature's Veil. Sure, bonus action to invisible. Sure, until your next turn. Subclass feature. 15th level, feral senses. You get blind sight to your feet. Feat 16th. Here's your capstone, 18th level. Foe Slayer. Your Hunter's Mark now deals an extra 1d10 damage to its target rather than an extra 1d6. And then 19th ability score in Epic Boon. It's got a recommended Epic Boon or Fortitude feat, or you can pick whatever one you like. So yes, that's the Ranger. We'll go with the Hunter subclass in a sec. But yeah, definitely feel like it's still, like, it's better, but I feel like you get extra attack at 5th level, right? So you get a damage boost there. Then your next damage boost is what's increasing your damage output? 18th level, Foe Slayer. I feel like this Foe Slayer or version of it should be on level 11, where the damage output generally jumps up for like fighters get extra attack and paladins get extra damage die and everything like that, and maybe changing things possibly when they get to those classes in 1D&D. But I feel like cool, Ranger, got your Hunter's Mark, everything's kind of online, level 5, but then nothing really changes for them combat wise until all the way to level 18 by looks. It's my reading of this, which seems strange. Why? I feel like they need some Post Slayer or version of that maybe needs to come up earlier, because that seems very late. Anyway, like maybe like Hunter's Mark does 2d6 at level 11 and then goes to 2d10 at level 18 or something, I don't know. Anyway, so that's that. We got the recommended spell lists for Ranger, prepared spells you can get. Just basically Pulsar Trace. Done. There's nothing too exciting there. Obviously it's a primal list, so they get minus evocation spells. So they get extra same spells as the druid. Alright. The subclass, the hunter subclass. So 3rd level you get to Hunter's Prey. We hit a creature with a weapon or unarmed strike as part of the attack action. On your turn, the weapon or unarmed strike deals an extra 1d8 damage to the target if it's missing any hit points. You can deal this extra damage only once per turn. Okay. Very, very minor boost there. Hunter's Law. You can call on the force of nature to reveal certain strengths and weaknesses of your prey or a creature's mark by your hunter's mark. You know whether the creature has any immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities, and if the creature has any, you know what they are. It's kind of cool. I mean, hopefully they have more creatures with, vulnerabilities and things in the game. That'd be quite cool to figure out, but because there's not many creatures in the game, and I don't know, generally you can look at things and kind of guess what certain things they probably got, like, it's a creature made of fire, maybe I shouldn't throw fire at it, but anyway. Fire giants, they're called fire giants, right? They're not nothing to do with fire, right? I can throw fire at the fire giants, right? Sure, you can try. You can always figure that out. Level 10 ability, multi-attack. You now always have Conjure Barrage prepared, and it doesn't count against the number of spells you can prepare. You can also cast a spell with 1st and 2nd level spell slots. When you do so, the spell's damage is reduced by 1d8 for each slot level below 3rd. So it's a 3rd level spell, Conjure Barrage, and you can choose to downgrade it and cast it at lower level. Especially a 60-foot cone attack does 1d8 per spell level of damage. A deck save for half. So just want to do lots of little damage with a big cone creatures. You got the option to do that. I'm not sure what you'll be doing that against at 10th level, but sure. 14th level Superior Hunter's Defense. When you're hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to halve the attack's damage against yourself, and you can redirect the other half of the damage to one creature other than your attacker you can see within 5 feet of yourself. Sure. That's right. Yeah, that's the Ranger. So a bit of a boost. I think again, they definitely boosted it quite. Oh, actually, yeah, they boosted Ranger, so Ranger's quite good at early level. But I feel like it kind of teeters out after that 5th level. Still, like you get some more previous utility, which is nice. But then you wait a long time in order to catch up to other people and what they're doing in combat. I feel. I don't know. I think they're getting there, Ranger, but I think, yeah, just make Hunter's Mark a class feature and do more with it, maybe. Yeah. That's the new Ranger. Better than it was. I think still some work to go. Alright, and the Rogue. Expert, primary ability score, Dexterity. Alright. Good old Rogues. Okay. Sneak attack progression is still the same. A lot of the abilities are very similar. And we'll get to them now. So the ordering's a bit different though. So yeah, hit die. Nothing new there. Got dexterity and intelligence saving throws. Same there. You get acrobatics, investigation, sleight of hand, stealth, or choose 4 from acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, persuasion, sleight of hand, and stealth. I feel like that's gone up from 3 if memory serves. That seems very high. You get simple weapons, martial weapons that have the finesse property, weapons, and thieves' tools. It's interesting they get thieves' tools, but the other expert classes, barring the artificer, so the ranger and the bard don't. So even though you could form a party with any of the experts, unless you got the right background on the other ones, they don't get these tools, and that's probably the most common tool issue to come up. So yeah, surprised the other experts don't have these built in, a thieves' tool option. Anyway, that's one of the main reasons you want a rogue. That and the amazing damage output. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so we got starting gear, multi-classing, same for rogue, nothing's really changed there. Alright, so first level you gain 2 expertises. A skill of your choice. Doesn't seem to be any option for thieves tools anymore. Have to be a skill, you can't expertise your thieves tools. It's interesting. Alright, sneak attack. That's the same. Although they've got the wording here, so you get sneak attack as long as you finesse or ranged weapon, and you have advantage on the attack, or ally adjacent to a target. At least one of your allies within 5 feet of the target. The ally isn't incapacitated, and you don't have disadvantage on an attack roll. So you need at least one of these requirements met. So in theory, if you had I'm not sure if it was phrased this way before, but it means you could maybe potentially have a disadvantage and advantage. Well, I guess it cancel out. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, those are the 2 criteria there. It's pretty much the same. It may be worded slightly differently there, but I think it ultimately works out the same for sneak attack. Alright. First level thieves can't. So you get thieves can't language as well as one language of your choice. So you have bonus language in there. Learn a local dialect or what have you. Cunning action, that's the same. Bonus action, dash, disengage or hide. Second level. Third level, you get subclass, and they have the thief as the example subclass here. Fourth level feat. Fifth level uncanny dodge. So it's the reaction to take half damage from an attack roll. 6th level subclass feature. 7th level expertise. So the second expertise is later than now for the rogue, as well as it means the evasion is later as well, because evasion normally comes at level 7 for the rogue there. So level 8 you get feat. Level 9 you finally get evasion, where if you pass a dex save you take no damage, or half if you failed, which is pretty good. But that's now they get that level 9, so they'll wait 2 more levels for that. You get feat at level 10, so you get a bonus feat. They still get that, as well as a subclass feature at level 10. So double whammy, pretty good. At level 11 they get reliable talent still, so if you roll a 9 or lower, it's actually a 10 for a skill or tool check that you're proficient with. And let's see, 12th level feat, you get 13th level, you get Subtle Strike. This is a new ability. When you attack, you know how to exploit a target's distraction. You have advantage on any attack roll that targets a creature that is within 5 feet, or of at least one of your allies who isn't incapacitated. So basically, now when you're an ally there, you just get free advantage. Off you go. It's pretty fantastic. 14th level, subclass feature, 15th level, Slippery Mind. This has got a boost. So before it was just you gain proficiency in wisdom saves, now you gain proficiency in wisdom and charisma saving throws. So that's nice. Add there. 16th level you gain feat. 17th level you gain elusive. You're so evasive that attackers really gain the upper hand against you. No attack roll has advantage against you while you aren't incapacitated. That's pretty great. No longer can be shoved prone and then attacked or what have you. I mean, they don't get advantage. Pretty cool. 18th level, Stroke of Luck. That's the same. Your capstone, yeah, which is just, I choose to have a 20 for this one. And it's short or long rest ability. Yeah, definitely, they've still got plenty of short rest abilities in here, don't they? So short rest is still, I can still see parties taking short rest, not just for healing, but also refresh some of these abilities. Not as many, but still quite a few. Short rests are still around. Alright, so Stroke of Luck. And then 19th level Feat, 20th level Epic Boon. Alright, and so you'll do the subclass, the Rogue subclass Thief. So 3rd level you get Fast Hands. So as a bonus action, you can use your cunning action to do the following. Take the search action. So they've created some new actions, which is basically a grouping of various things you can spend your skill check on. So there's a search action, and they cover that in detail later in the doc. You can do a sleight of hand, so make a dexterity check, sleight of hand to pick a lock or disarm a trap, thieves tools, or to pick a pocket. So that's what you can do with your fast hands there. As well as you get second story work at 3rd level, which I believe is a bit of a boost from where it was before. So now you gain climb speed equal to your speed. And you can take the jump action. You can use a dexterity check instead of a strength check for that jump action. 6th level, they get Supreme Sneak. You have advantage on every dexterity check, stealth you make, provided you aren't wearing medium or heavy armor. Which is okay. I mean, getting advantage I feel is pretty easy, especially for that. But I guess as a rogue, at that level, we probably still want to do hide action quite a bit in your training. You really don't want to roll that natural 1 on that. So it's okay. 10th level, this is pretty cool. They've changed this to use magic device. So before it was you can just use any magic item ignoring class restrictions. That's gone. So it looks like class restrictions still affect you. However, you gain a 4th attunement slot, which is huge. Like, oh my gosh, you can shoot up to 4 magic items. Take that, Artificer. And yeah, 10th level, that's when Artificer gets their 4th attunement slot as well. So it's the same level as Artificer. As well as when you use magic item property that expends charges, roll d6. On a roll of 6, use property without expending the charges, which, oh, that could potentially be very good. So that's kind of cool. As well as they can use any spell scroll. So you can use a spell scroll that bears a cantrip or first level spell. You can also try to use any spell scroll that contains a high level spell, but you must first succeed on an intelligence check, Arcana, or DC equal to 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, you cast a spell from the scroll and use intelligence spellcasting ability for this casting. On a failed check, the scroll disintegrates. So that's cool. That's a lot of fun there. I do like that. Though, I don't know, level 10, I wish some of this footing around magic items you've stolen came in a bit earlier. So I feel like that's, you can always put a whole class of character around. Just, I've always stolen magic items I don't know how they're used, and just kind of pull them out and having fun times tinkering with them. I feel like some of that could come in earlier. Because 10th level is a long time to wait to get that online. Because that's pretty cool. I almost feel like it's Arcane Trickster ability, actually. Anyway, see if Arcane Trickster makes it through. 14th level, Thief's Reflexes. You can now take a second bonus action on your turn, provided it is the bonus action from Cunning Action. Use this feature a number of times, equal to a proficiency bonus. Your gain XP uses when you finish a long rest. So you got a couple of extra bonus actions you can use in a turn there. Alright. So that's the Thief. And yeah, and that's the rogue, new rogue. So again, they've really pushed up some of these skills quite late, like later expertises, which I feel like I don't love. I feel like in the skills and expertises all sorted between levels 1 to 5 is so you feel like you're fully operational at level 5. So that's right. I feel like you're not quite. I mean, it's a rogue. You're still good. You're still sneak attacking. You still got plenty of things going on. So I think you're less hurt by it than the other classes. But I feel like, yeah, I don't love the late expertises. And evasion, make it so late. But yeah, I guess they're trying to stretch things out so the games measure mid-game. Is that what they're doing? I'm not sure. It's interesting. Anyway, that's the rogue. Onto the feats. Oh boy. There's some big changes in store here. So, the feats. So, all the feats here are level prerequisites. So, most of these feats here are 4th level feats. There are some 20 level feats and a couple of 1st level feats. And also the fighting style feats. So many feats. And various feats. And a lot of the feats are prerequisites. Pretty much all of them do, I think. Some of them I feel like unnecessarily so. But we'll get into that. And then some are repeatable. So you can choose to keep taking the same feat if you like. Alright. So, got the ability score improvement feat, which is the 4th level feat. It's repeatable, which is just, you just want 2 step bumps. Here you go, you got 2 step bumps. And that's it. So that's probably the most common feat. It's now feat now. Anyway, ability score improvement. See, Actor, prerequisite charisma 13 plus. I feel like it's unnecessary. I guess it makes flavor sense. Like, what are you doing taking an active feat when you got less than that? But I don't know, it feels a little redundant. Like, if you really want to be a bad actor, so be it. Or, I don't know. Maybe it's just these prerequisites are here to help people when skimming through the feat doc, just auto exclude and auto ignore certain feats because they don't have those stats that match up for that. I don't know. But active feat actually hasn't changed at all, I don't think, really. You got the bump to charisma, so all the 4th level feats have a step bump, which for some feats later on, like Sentinel and Holo Master and things like that, is quite a boon to those feats. Yeah, we'll get to those. But the feats like Actor, the charisma, yeah, you still get the bump. They always had that. You get the advantage on when acting, pretending to be someone else. That was the same as before, and you got the mimicry ability. That is all the same. So it's still the same feat, nothing changed with Actor. Athletes. Let's see. Athlete hasn't changed much either. Again, it's got prereq. And you got bump to strength, dexterity, con. You can climb speed equal to your speed. 5-foot movement to get up from prone. And your advantage on jumping. Next, charger. Proficiency with any martial weapons required. And you get a bump to strength or dex. And when you dash, you get extra 10-foot movement. And, you know, if you move into someone, you can do the attack action, you can do bonus damage or push them. Alright, crossbow expert. Proficiency with any martial weapons required. It's level 4 feet. People know. So you get a bump. So crossbow expert now gives you a bump to dexterity. Before it did not. You can ignore the loading property of crossbows. Firing to melee, so you can you don't get disadvantage from attacking melee with your crossbow. And you get the dual wielding ability. So, you know, get the bonus action, fire off your light crossbow. So yeah, so crossbow expert's pretty much the same. Beyond you got the step bump there. So it's pretty nice. Defensive duelist, got the step bump to dexterity, and you know, you use your reaction to your finesse weapon to add your proficiency bonus to your armor class. That is the same. Let's see, dual wielder. Let's see, proficiency martial weapon. You got the bonus to strength or dexterity. Let's see, when you're holding a weapon with a light property in one hand, you can treat a non-light weapon in your other hand. If it had a light property, provided the weapon lacks two-handed property, so you know, you give a rapier and a short sword or whatever. Quick draw, L stow 2 at a time. But it's basically the same. Durable, this one's had a big change. Level 4 feet. Increase your constitution score by 1. Your advantage on death saving throws. Speedy recovery is a bonus action. You can expend one of your hit dice, roll the die, and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll. So you got the constant healing you can do during combat or what have you. So it's going to bite you later. If you want to go short rest, and you got no hit die left. Elemental Adept. So you require spellcasting or Pat Magic feature. So Pat Magic's still around for Warlocks. Good for them. This is a repeatable one, but just a damage type. So Elemental Adept, now you get a step bump. So you get Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma score. Woohoo! because before it didn't have a stat bump at all. It just came with just the energy mastery part. We get that and the stat bump now, so it's a boost there. So choose one of the following damage types, one of these elemental ones here. Any spell ignores resistance to damage of the chosen type, and in addition, we roll damage and roll a 1, treat that as a 2 on the die. So it's a boost there. Oh, here's some of the epic boons. Just because alphabetically the epic boons have come up. We're certainly not done with the 4th level feats. So yeah, these level 20 feats. I mean, I'll quickly skim through some of these. So epic boon of combat prowess, level 20 feat, new expert or warrior group. We miss with a melee attack, you can hit instead. Once you use feat, you can't use it again until you roll initiative. Sure. Epic boon just will travel, you can just misstep at will. That's be a cell slot. Once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you finish to roll initiative or finish short or long rest. But your free misstep spell, that's okay. Energy resistance, we'll skim through some of these. You increase your hit points by 40. Because honestly, how often you get to use these level 20 feats? Your damage always your damage deal always ignores resistance. That's a nice one. If a boon of irresistible offense. If a boon of luck, if you roll d20 or d20 test, you can roll d10, add number rolled to the test. Once you use benefit, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest or roll initiative. Yeah. Let's skim through the rest of these. Epic boons. You're proficient in all skills. Your speed increases by 30 feet. Alright, here we go. Fighting style. Archery, +2 to attack rolls with ranged weapons. So it's the first level fighting style archery feat. Prerequisite warrior group. So it is a first level feat. So I wonder if you at character creation you can probably actually take these. If you start as like a first level fighter or what have you, you take one as your background and one in where you get the fighting style. Maybe. I'm not sure actually. The order depends on the order of character creation, I guess. Yeah, it's the warrior group. This one, arm class for the defense one. Again, always the same. There's been turned to feats. Dueling. Wheel weapon in one hand, another weapons +2 most damage. It's all the same here. Great Weapon Master, 1 or 2, you can reroll. Great Weapon Fighting. Protection's the same. 2 weapon fighting's the same. You can use your naked damage to your extra light weapon attack. Grappler, okay, grappler feats. You get step bump, strength or dex, and it's a 4th level feat. Advantage on attack rolls against a creature grappled by you. Fast wrestler, you aren't slowed when you move a creature grappled by you, provided the creature is your size or smaller. So with new grapple rules, you get the slow condition. And normally when you're grappling creature, which is normally you have half movement, everyone's advantage to attack you and all that. So it's quite nice to not have that slow condition. Punch and grab. When you hit a creature with an armor strike, as part of the attack action on your turn, you can deal damage to the target and also grapple it. You can use as a benefit only once per turn. Alright, Great Weapon Master. What happened to Great Weapon Master? Oh boy. So Great Weapon Master, 4th level feat, the infamous Great Weapon Master. For any martial weapon is required. Repeatable no. Okay, so you get bump. So you get a bump to strength when you take this feat. Okay. You get cleave, so it's still the same when you get a crit or you reduce someone to 0 hit points. You get to make an extra attack with a bonus action. You get that still. But heavy weapon mastery. When you hit a creature with a heavy weapon as part of the attack action on your turn, you can cause the weapon to deal extra damage to the target. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus, and you can deal it only once per turn. That's it. So the taking a -5 penalty to hit, they add +10 damage to your attacks, to all your attacks. That's gone. That's dead. Which fair enough, because that definitely was very swingy and could really imbalance things. I found most of my tables had Great Weapon Master and Sharpshooter banned. They played in, so yeah, or very least restricted to high level, because at low level it was just too swingy, too much damage increase. So that is a fair call there. It's still a very solid option of picking though, just for the cleave alone and the stat bump. And hey, some free bonus damage once per round. Sure. But it's definitely not a must pick anymore, which is nice, because it had too many issues with Great Weapon Master and Sharpshooter being must-haves for martials. So yeah, Great Weapon Master. Oh, the mighty have fallen. Alright, heavily armored. You prerequisite media armor training, so this is just have a stat bump to con and strength, and you gain proficiency in sorry, not proficiency, you gain heavy armor training. That's pretty standard. Heavy armor master, so you acquire prerequisite heavy armor training. You can use your heavy armor to deflect strikes, granting the following benefits. Now this is a big boost actually. This may be the the new feat that a lot of martials take, I think. Increase your constitutional strength score by 1 to a max of 20. Damage reduction. Here we go. When you're hit by an attack while you're wearing heavy armor, any bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage dealt to you by an attack is reduced by an amount equal to proficiency bonus. So that's so before it was non-magical. Now it's just any bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Doesn't matter if it's magic or not. And it scales up with your proficiency bonus. So damage reduction starts off quite low too, but it keeps scaling up as you go up levels, as your proficiency bonus goes up. That is a huge boost to that feat. That is very cool. I like it. I like it. Heavy Armor Master. Watch out. Thanks to Goa. Alright. Inspiring Leader. So now Inspiring Leader can be Wisdom or Charisma. So if you're a Wise Leader or Charismatic Leader. Makes sense, I guess. So you get a boost to Wisdom or Charisma, and then you get to do an encouraging performance, which could be a speech or a song or dance or what have you, for up to 6 creatures, and during short or long rest. And it is they gain 2d4 plus your proficiency bonus to every hit point, so it's not tied to your stat score at all. Cool, that's solid. Keen Mind, big change here. So you require intelligence 13 plus. You can't be a dunce taking this. Which, I don't know if it's required. I mean, could be soon character design in mind. Who knows? Anyway, and increase your intelligence score by 1. Choose one of the following skills: Arcana, History, Investigation, Nature, or Religion. If you lack proficiency in that chosen skill, you gain proficiency in it. And if you have proficiency in it, you gain expertise in it. So, as well as quick study, you can take the study action as a bonus action, which will cover study soon enough when it comes up in the rules text at the end. And that's it. So the whole, it's north, you remember everything last month, that's all gone, which, I don't know, I quite like having those ribbon features there. For extra roleplay or niche times it comes up, I'd like to have the ribbons in addition to this, rather than having just all actionable stuff. Having a few ribbons there for the rare times to come up is quite cool. We're finding like, oh, I remember which way is north always. Oh my gosh, that solves everything. It's always nice when those moments come up, those rare ribbons. Rendering just mechanical. That's Keen Mind. Lightly Armored. Light Armor's got a boost because now it just gives you not just light armor, but also medium armor and a shield. And this is a first level feat with no prerequisites. So you could take this with your background. You could take this as a human. So you could be a squishy sorcerer who starts off with medium armor and shield. And off you go. So that's I definitely can see being quite a good pick for spellcasters at first level. Look at me, I've got armor class like a martial too, and I can cast shield spell. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that, just being no prerequisite first level feat. I guess they just don't want to have the option so you don't need multi-class to get that stuff as a spellcaster, but still, they made it very easy to pick up. Very, very easy. So yeah, I feel like that could be, they snuck that in there as a new first level feat, and I feel like they might regret that. Might need maybe boost the level requirement or something on that. Mage Slayer, this has had a boost. This is very cool actually. Quite like Mage Slayer. Proficiency with any martial weapon required. So you get a boost to strength or dexterity. So step bump there. Concentration Breaker. So it's the same when you damage a creature that's concentrating, it's disadvantage on a saving throw it makes to maintain concentration. New ability here, Guarded Mind. If you fail an intelligence, a wisdom, or charisma saving throw, you can cause yourself to succeed instead. Once you use the benefit, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Holy hell, you just gave a player a legendary resist? That's amazing! A feat that gives legendary resist. That's so cool. I like it. Tell me more. That's super cool. I really want to get that now just so I can do that. Legendary creature does something to me. Go, I can legendary resist too. Alright, medium armor master. So medium armor training. This is basically the same. You get bumped to strength or dex, and your AC can be 1 higher if you got the dex score for it. So nothing different there. Mounted combatant. So the 4th level feats. So you get the stat bump. It's quite a long one, this one. To strength, dexterity, wisdom, as well as your advantage on wisdom checks, animal handling, made to handle your horse, your mount. Your advantage on attacks, attacking people who are smaller than your mount while you're riding your mount. You can give your mount evasion, and you can use your reaction to take the hit over and see your mount. Observant, so there's intelligence or wisdom 13 plus required. You get the bump to intelligence or wisdom as the ability score increase. Keen observer, so you choose one of the following skills: insight, investigation, or perception. If you lack proficiency in a chosen skill, you gain proficiency in it, and if you have proficiency, you gain expertise. You can take the search action as a bonus action, and that's it for observant. So before, observant was the flat +5 to your passive perception and investigation, and you could read lips. That's all gone. I kind of would like the ribbon of you could lip read here. So that was quite cool. Again, a niche thing when it came up. It was pretty cool. So yeah, bring back some of the ribbons, please. Everything doesn't need to be as actionable mechanically, I feel. Anyway, Holo Master. Oh boy. So 4th level feat, proficiency with any martial weapon. So you can ability score increase. So you get a bonus to strength. Now this feat has been changed a little bit. So it is now, so immediately after you take an attack action, you take a weapon that has a heavy or reach properties. You can use a bonus action to make the immediate weapon attack with the opposite of the weapon. The weapon's damage die for this is a d4 and it deals bludgeoning damage. So that seems like the same, but the change there is, so you get the attack, flip around, bonus action, but attack with the polearm. But it has to be heavy and reach. So we're talking glaives and halberds and things, not spears. So they took away spears, so you can't just have a little short one-handed spear and shield anymore. They took that away. It has to be a big two-handed polearm. And Reactor Strike. Again, when you're holding a weapon that has a heavier and reach properties, so again, it's restricted to just the big long glaives and whatnot. No spears, no short things there. You can use your action to make one melee attack against a creature that enters the reach you have of that weapon. This is a shame, so it's limited now to just those longer weapons. I quite like this whole spear and shield build with it. But I guess the trade-off is you do get step bump now with it, which is very nice. It's still a very strong feat. Especially on Paladins. Extra smite option there. Anyway. Resilient's still the same. 4th level feat. No prereqs. Not repeatable though. So you can only do resilience once. You choose one ability score and you get proficiency in its saving throw, as well as a step up in it. Ritual caster. This one has a change. So you need intelligence, wisdom, or charisma 13 plus. So you get a step up to intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. That's nice. Ritual spells. So you get 2 first level spells of your choice. Ritual tag from the arcane, divine, or primal spell list. You always have those 2 spells prepared, and you can cast them with any spell slot you have. The spells, spellcast ability is ability increased by the feat. Also you get quick ritual. With this benefit, you can cast a ritual spell that you have prepared using its regular casting time rather than the extended time for a ritual. Doing so doesn't require a spell slot. Once you cast a spell in this way, you can't use this benefit again until you finish a long rest. So nice little bump to ritual caster there, as well as a step bump. Alright, Sentinel. Let's see. What have we got here? 4th level feat, that gives you a step bump now. So, oh my god. So Sentinel's basically the same, but you get a step bump now. So, sure, let's make Sentinel better. Let's do it. So, strength or dexterity bump, and, you know, someone does a disengage action or hits a target while you're standing next to them. That's other than you get opportunity attack, hit them, and then halt. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. I think they changed the wording here to make this opportunity attack as well. So Guardian will trigger the Halt ability as well. I think before it didn't, weirdly. So now you can hit them with opportunity attack there when they do something and they can't move at all. So that's pretty cool. So that's a big boost to Sentinel. What a great feat. Definitely a great option too. So definitely, I feel like the definitely the tanky feats have definitely had a big boost, and the big damage feats like Sharpshooter, which we get up to now, and Reactor Master have had a nerf, which I think is a fair way of doing it. So Sharpshooter, you get a bump now. Sharpshooter, it's a bump to dexterity. You get to bypass cover. Your ranged attacks with weapons ignore half cover and 3/4 cover. You get to fire into melee without disadvantage, so you can be melee and shoot people with no disadvantage, no penalty there. Long shots, attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage on your attacks either, so you can attack with that long range, no disadvantage. And that's it. There's no -5 to your hit roll to add +10 damage. That's gone. Sharpshooter is a shell of its former self. Yeah, that's it. Those big damage boosts, Sharpshooter and Great Webmaster, they're gone. Which I'm glad. They were so unbalancing and so game warping. They were must-have. When the feats are must-have feats, there's a problem. So I'm glad that they fixed that. Maybe a little extreme. Poor Marshals, what do you do now? But we'll see. See what. Yeah, I'm sure there's other options out there. Shieldmaster, this is a bit of a bump actually. So you get the boost to strength, and you get the shield bash is now if you attack a creature within 5 feet as part of the attack action and hit with a melee weapon, you can immediately bash the target with the shield if it's equipped, force the target to a strength saving throw, or be failed knocks prone or get pushed 5 feet away. So it's now part of the attack action as opposed to being bonus action afterwards. So in theory, in part of multi-attack, you could the first attack hit, you bash them, knock them prone, second attack come in with advantage, which is much better than before when you could just knock them prone after you finish stacking them, and then they can stand back up again before your turn comes back around. So yeah, it's a boost there. So it's actually quite a valid option now. There's Shieldmaster. And you got the interpose shield, which was the same as before. We can put in front against those AoE attacks. Alright. Skoka. Get Dex Bump now. Get Blind Sight. You can see advantage on stealth checks from hide action, and you attack someone from hidden and it doesn't expose your hiding place if you miss. Skoka, Speedster. So it's a new mobile feat. You get so you need Dex or Con 13 plus. Level 4 feat here. You get bumped to Dexterity or Con, Constitution. Your speed increases by 10 feet while you aren't wearing heavy armor. So they got a restriction there now, so you can't be in heavy armor and be fast. Dash over difficult terrain. So when you take the dash action, you can ignore difficult terrain on your turn. Spell Sniper. You've learned techniques to enhance your attacks with certain kinds of spells, getting the following benefits. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1. Your attack rolls or spells ignore hard cover. You're casting melee, you can don't get disadvantage when taking the melee. Casting spells in the melee. And you get increased range. So your range at least 10 feet. Increases range by 60 feet. Very nice. Oh, Warcaster. Okay, here we go. Okay, so requisite spellcasting or pack magic feature. You get a step bump now. So Warcaster gives you a step bump in intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1. So good. You get advantage on constitution checks, your saving throws, should I say, to maintain your concentration, and you get the reaction opportunity attack. Cast a spell. So yeah, so Warcaster's the same, except it gives you a step bump now. So man, I could see, you know, I'm playing a sorcerer, wizard, or whatever, a spellcaster, start with my background, take the armor proficiencies, so I got medium armor and a shield, and then have an odd number, like a be 17 in my spellcasting stat, I didn't take Warcaster at level 4, getting it up to 18, and I got Warcaster now, so now I can cast my spells, no problem, while being in mini armor and my shield, ready to go. Yeah, it seems pretty good. I can see, definitely, yeah, hammered up spellcasters seem pretty good in 1 D&D, especially now with the loss of a great Webmaster and Sharpshooter. And no, let me just see here how the how everything lines up when everything comes out. But yeah, that's very good. Wow. There's always a choice between yeah, getting the stats up or getting like Warcaster or what have you. But no, easy choice. Okay, next we got also, of course, the somatic components. You can perform the somatic components of spells even when you have weapon and your shield in one of both hands, which again was part of Warcaster before. Weapon training, same as before, gets your bump in strength of dex and you gain martial weapon proficiencies. And here we have the spell lists. Alright, so let's do the feats. That's the feats done. Here we have the spell lists, which I'm not going to go over every single spell in these lists. But we have the arcane list, we've got the divine list, and we've got the primal list. So the arcane is for the wizards, sorcerers, and warlocks, and artificers and bards, and with some restrictions with the school magics and things. Divine is for clerics and the paladins, and primals for the druids and the rangers. But again, with some of these having certain schools of magic not allowed. So yeah, so the arcane spell list, notably Eldritch Blast is still missing. So I'm assuming it's become a warlock class feature or something like that. Surely it's not disappeared for good. So it's really interesting what's happened there. But yeah, a lot of powerful potent spells in the arcane list because it's all the wizard and warlock spells, and you know, everyone can grab them and take them. If you're a wizard or a bard or whatever, it's all on your list too now. And vice versa, so like Distant Whispers is here, so like a wizard can just easily pick this up or what have you. That great bard spell. There are double up swing lists, like every list's got Detect Magic, and all the class spells that normally every class had, they're on all 3 of these spell lists. But yeah, and there have been some changes to some of the schools. So anything with their asterisks next to their school magic means this changed. What school? So Thunderwave is now a transportation spell. That sort of thing. So there'll be a few changes there. Alright, we'll skim through this. And this covers all the spells, all level 9 from the core book. Oof. There we go. A lot of spells. The spells that unlike guidance here have new wording. The guidance has been completely changed, and the text for that is coming up. Yes. So mass healing word, that's abjuration now. A lot of the healing spells are abjuration. Healing words, abjuration. Let's see. What else we got? This kind of interesting. Got primal spells here. So many spells. We know. Okay, here we go. The rules. Ability check. So that is basically all skill checks require an action, but you know, DM can decide if it's actually a bonus or no action at all if they like. But by default now it's an action. They're really kind of codifying what actions and what skills are used for, which is nice because they were a bit vague in some places before. Which we'll get to. Alright. Let's see, we'll just get through to the interesting parts. Here's the new rules for Barkskin. So Barkskin's spell's been changed completely. Before it was you give someone a fixed AC, which wasn't very good and no one used, I believe. I think it was like you're a concentrated spell and your AC's now set to 16 or something. But now it is a regenerating Barkskin, so it's a bonus action to cast, concentration up to an hour, and when you upcast you get more targets. Until spell ends, target skin assumes a bark-like appearance, and at the start of each of the target's turns, target gains a number of temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier plus your proficiency bonus. So, cute little bonus there. Nothing, you know, it's like having a mini Twilight Cleric around. Alright. Blind Sight, yeah, nothing new there for the rules really. Okay. D20 tests, same as before basically, just anything that rolls D20 is codified as D20 test. But now they've got, if you roll a 1 now, on the D20, you get inspiration. All the other rules in the previous one about this are gone. Alright, we got the section that's fine. Terrain, nothing's really different there. Alright, exhaustion. Exhaustion's had a change. So now there are 10 levels of exhaustion for, I think it was 6th level of exhaustion that kills you. But now instead it's the 10th level of exceed 10. So you need 11 levels of exhaustion to die. And all it is a penalty. So your level of exhaustion is just minus from your D20 test roll results and your spell save DCs. And every time you finish long rest, removes 1 level. So exhaustion is less lethal. And I guess I don't know if anyone has ever died of exhaustion before. But I guess it's less harsh on. So I think the first level of exhaustion is you get disadvantage on skill checks, and then it starts hurting your attack rolls and your saving throws, and yeah, your speed is halved, and then the speed is zeroed, and then you die or something like that. Something like that. The order may be slightly off there. And so now, which can definitely get pretty harsh on adventuring. So this is a lot softer approach, which I guess they can be more spammy with exhaustion without risk of absolutely destroying people, I guess. It's okay, I guess it's fine. I mean, I can throw out exhaustion without too much worry, because normally it starts spiraling pretty quick when you start failing as exhaustions, and eventually hits the saving throws, and you get disadvantage on your saving throws to resist exhaustion to get more exhaustion, and can spiral pretty deadly from there. But I've never actually seen anyone actually die from it before. Yeah, interesting. Interesting change there. Okay, 650s, yep. Don't need to go over that. That is all actually the same. Grapple condition is the same as what it was in the previous Untitled Chapter, so I'm not going to cover it again. Guidance spell, here we go. Here's the new rules for guidance. So this cantrip. It used to be an action to cast, now it's a reaction to cast. So you cast its reaction, or when a creature within 30 feet of you fails an ability check, or is failing an ability check. You channel magic insight into the creature who failed the check. The creature can roll a d4 and add a number roll to the check, potentially turning it into success. Once a creature rolls the die for the spell, that creature can't benefit from the spell again until the creature finishes a long rest. So before, guidance was an action to cast, it lasts a minute, a concentration, and the next ability check that be rolled within that minute, you can roll a d4, choose to roll a d4 and add it. And it was very spammable, there's no restriction on it. And so they're trying to counteract that spammability of this cantrip. So now it's just a reaction, and you're going to be different for once, which is definitely a huge nerf to guidance. It's no longer this must-have cantrip. It's yeah, quite restrictive. So yeah, it's a shame. Probably ultimately for the best. Can be very annoying sometimes. We're just D4s for everyone. Help action. Help action's been codified as being you have to have proficiency in the skill or in the skill that you're trying to actually help with. So you have to be proficient in the skill to then do the help action to help an ally. Otherwise, no go. And this is tech roll. There's no change there. Still just do the help action in combat to give an ally advantage. Alright. Heroic Inspiration. It's just the whole, if you get a 1 in a d20 test, it has to be the one you actually use ultimately for the roll. Like if you have advantage and you choose not to use the one, does not count for gaining inspiration. Okay, you can only have 1 inspiration at a time. You can give it to someone who lacks it if you gain it. Alright. Hidden condition. Alright, what's this? Conceal. You're unaffected by any effect that requires its target to be seen. If you're hidden when you roll initiative, you have advantage on the roll. Attack rolls against you have disadvantage, and attack rolls have and your attack rolls have advantage. In the condition ends on you immediately. After any of your following occurs, you make a sound louder than a whisper, enemy finds you, or you make an attack roll, cast a spell with a verbal component, or you aren't heavily obscured or behind any cover. Okay. Hide action, the DC is 15 for the hide action. While you're heavily obscured or behind 3/4 of total cover. And you must be out of visible enemies' line of sight. If you can see a creature, you can discern whether it can see you. Okay. So you need at least DC 15 on that stealth to classify as hidden. However, you make a note of what you got for the check, because it's the DC for a creature to find you with the perception check. So that's the hide action codified there. Incapacitated, that is the same as what it was last time in the previous one. Influence is a new action you can do. Well, new, it's just codified actions. You could always do this. It's just being classified as influence. An influence action, you can try to influence another creature to do something you request or demand. So you can choose action. This action can be used on creatures controlled by the DM, and it isn't mind control. You can't force a creature to do something that is counter to the creature's alignment, or that is otherwise repugnant to the creature. This action has 3 main parts: attitude, interaction, and charisma check. This is basically ways of using charisma in combat. You can spend an action to try and turn a creature from, and depending on how the creature's like, they can be indifferent towards you, they can be friendly towards you, which makes it a lot easier to get them to do things, or hostile towards you, which makes it a lot harder. So you interact with them, and then you do a charisma check as an action. And depending on the roleplay, the DM could give you advantage. And it might temporarily shift a creature from hostile to indifferent, or indifferent to friendly, or what have you, or get them to do something for you. Just codifying role-playing in combat, basically, with ability checks. And they got DC tables here based off the creature's indifference, friendliness, or hostile status. It's all very similar to what's, I think, previous in the DMG. Anyway. Already. Alright, so invisible condition. So yes, so just see, you can't be seen, so you aren't affected with any effect that requires the target to be seen. Any equipment you're wearing or carrying also can't be seen. If you're invisible, when you roll initiative, you have advantage on initiative roll. Attack rolls against you have disadvantage, and your attack rolls have advantage. Alright. Jump action. Yeah. You can attempt to leap more than 5 feet. When you take this action, your speed must be greater than 0, and you must make a DC 10 strength check, acrobatics or athletics. If you don't move at least 10 feet immediately before the action, you have disadvantage on the check. On a failed check, you leap 5 feet horizontally or vertically. On a successful check, your check's total determines your distance in feet. You can clear horizontally, or half total if you're jumping vertically. Jump doesn't expend your movement, but the distance you clear can't exceed your speed. Alright, light weapon property. This is a big one. This is a big one here. When you take the attack action on your turn and attack with a light weapon in one hand, you can make one extra attack as part of the same action. The extra attack must be made with a different light weapon in the other hand, and you don't add the ability modifier to the extra attack's damage. You can make this extra attack only once on each of your turns. For example, if you take the attack action on your turn and have a short sword in one hand and a dagger in the other, each of which has the light property, you can make one attack with each weapon, and you don't add your strength or dexterity modifier to the damage roll of the second weapon. So before, this is a new rules for 2-weapon fighting. So before it was, you got light weapons in both hands, you can attack with your offhand weapon as a bonus action. Now it's just all built into the attack action, so your bonus action is less free to do other things, which is a big boost for the ranger and rogue. So it means they can get extra attacks in there with light weapons, and still have their bonus action to Hunter's Mark or disengage and hide or whatever, for the Ranger and Rogue respectively there. So that's a big get. Makes 2-weapon fighting a lot more viable, because before it was quite bad. Alright. We've got a long rest. That's the same as before. So it's mentioning that, it will also fix your max hit point. Maximum has been reduced, return to normal, as well as any stats that have been reduced are automatically fixed as well over a long rest. And you can't be different more than one long rest in a 24-hour period. Alright. The magic action. Action just called magic. Do magic, which is activating a magic item or casting a spell. And if you're casting a spell, it's a minute timer or longer. You basically doing the magic action every turn while casting that. And you must maintain concentration while doing so. But if your concentration is broken, the spell fails, but you don't lose a spell slot from doing so if you didn't complete it. Which is nice of them. Yeah, so magic action. Haha. Action, do magic. But the move, it's the same. And you can break up your movements between multi-attack and doing things. Okay. Let's see. It's got different speeds. Nothing really new there. Okay. Ritual casting. Anyone can do ritual casting now. Just if you got a spell, you can ritual cast it. If you know the spell. Search action. This is the search action. Okay, when you take the search action, you make a wisdom check to discern something that isn't obvious. The search table suggests which skills are applicable when you take this action, depending on what you're trying to detect. So when you do search action, you can do insight, when creature's state of mind, medicine, creature's element, perception, concealed creature or object, or survival, tracks, or food. So, and we get to the study one is the int version of this. This is search is the wisdom version. So perceptions is the one that's for looking for concealed objects, which seems to be one for searching for loot and things, which I think historically has been investigation, at least in most of my games. And investigation for this one, we'll get to that in a sec, does not mention that. So I feel like perception's taken over the search for loot role. It's for noticing those types of things, which is interesting. There's always been a bit of crossover perception and investigation. Anyway, that's the search action, what that entails. So it's nice having a codified, this is what each check's kind of for. Alright, short sword is now a simple weapon rather than a martial weapon. Oh, that's nice. Slow condition, that was in the previous one. I'm going to cover that again. Study action, here's the study action here. For intelligence checks. So when you do a study action, you get to do, you can do a Arcana check, where you want to do a check on spells, magic items, eldritch symbols, magic traditions, planes of existence, and certain creatures, aberrations, constructs, elementals, fae, and monstrosities. History check for historic events and people, ancient civilizations, wars, and certain creatures, giants and humanoids. Investigation for traps, ciphers, riddles, and gadgetry. Nature, terrain, flora, weather, and certain creatures, beasts, dragons, oozes, and plants. And religion, deities, religious hierarchies, and rites. Holy symbols, cults, and certain creatures, celestials, fiends, and undead. Says what codified what those skills are for, which is nice having all different creature types kind of broken up between different knowledges. When someone asks about certain like ooze, roll, Arcana, they actually got it here now. It's quite nice to codified like that. So yeah, I think I like this. That's the study action. And yeah, with that certain feats and things, you can bonus action, study action. So bonus action, look, try and think what the weaknesses of this creature may be, or what have you. Cool. So you got swim speed, it's fine. Tool efficiency, there's nothing new there. Teleportation, just tell you what teleportation is. Nothing new there. And unarmed strike, that's all, and it's all the same from previous unearthed arcanas. With the new unarmed strike rules, giving you options to do grappling and jumping. Okay, and that's it. That's the 7-page document. Wow, we did it! Amazing, all the way at the top. Amazing, we did it. All right, and there we have it. That is the expert classes, the second One D&D playtest material, Unearthed Arcana. I think, if you feel like bards are losing out a bit there, I think rangers are on the right track. I think rangers still needs more work, still needs more help. I think rogues seem pretty. I think lost a little bit, but I think ultimately they're still fantastic. Can't really go wrong with rogues. the loss of Sharpshooter and Great Weaponmaster. I'm interested to see how that develops. See how the meta in that develops with without those dominating feats, but other feats still looking pretty strong. The stat bumps on Warcaster and Holo Master and Sentinel. Oof, be interesting. Very interested to see how this develops. And showing about loss of guidance too. Interesting. It's interesting. The rebalancing they're doing here. What do you think? What's your kind of greatest loss? How dare they take away that Song of Rest? How dare they? To the various classes, or what do you think of the changes so far? I'm definitely keen to give this a whirl and see how this goes on the playtest on the table. And then we've got the survey coming out on the 20th of October for this one. So make sure to fill that in on dndbeyond.com. Alright, which I'll do a video of. So check that out. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss these videos. Until next time, I'm Brad Thompson. Happy gaming. Catch you around. See ya.